Hey kids, welcome to the show. If you caught the last video I did, I've got to apologize a little bit. It's been a while since I made some videos, and there's some stuff that was off screen a little bit. Hopefully it wasn't too bad, but this is a follow-up to the last video where I showed you in VBA how to get a zip code when you only have the address, city, and state. Now we did it in VBA in the last one, and I said that we would do it in Power Query this time. So let's see how we would do that. So I'm just going to delete this column where we had our custom function last time. And I'm going to go ahead and just copy this to a new sheet and just paste it as values. So we're going to pretend this is just a raw data set that we're starting with fresh. So before we get into what we're going to do with the table, let's just do the first part, which is actually reaching out into the internet and getting the information that we need. So the way we're going to do that is we're going to go back like we did in the last one, and just if you didn't see the last one, go check it out to see how we get this request URL. And we're just going to copy that again. Go back to Excel and go up to the Data tab, and under Get Data we're going to go to From Web. And we're just going to paste in that URL. Say OK. And this is how it shows up. So we're just going to double click on this. And we can see it's already given us all the data that we were looking for. You know, we had to go through quite a few steps in the last one to get to this point where it was just parsing out this information. So you can see how Power Query can be a really useful tool. So let's rename this. We'll call this GetZip as well. Now, what are we going to do with this? Well, we need to do something with it. This is in a JSON format, so let's look up what we do with JSON in Power Query. So we'll look up Power Query functions JSON. I saw the one. This is the one that we want. So we're going to do json.document. And I don't think we have to do anything else, so let's give that a shot. First off, I'm just going to add a column, see how that works. I'm going to say json.document. I forgot I'm in this new version where it actually tells me these things. Alright, let's see what that does. Cool. That's what we wanted, because now we can drill down into this and we can get to the information that we want. But I don't want to deal with adding custom columns and then getting rid of custom columns, because that's just extra steps that you don't need. So we're going to write some code here. And hopefully I don't do the same mistake I did before, which is not let you guys see. Can't let you really see all of it. Unfortunately, the resolution is a little bad. But, alright, so the first thing we're going to do is, to avoid having to put in all those extra columns, we're just going to add a new step. So I added a column, or a comma at the end of that first sentence here, or line of code, not sentence. You can't see that, but there's a comma at the end of it. You need that for a new line. And this new line is going to be, we can name the step whatever we want. We'll just say transform. And that's going to be table.transform columns. Transform columns. And the column that we're going to do is column 1. Oh wait, am I doing that right? No, sorry. The first argument is going to be source. We need to reference the step before. And then we need to put this in the curly brackets. And then in here, the first argument is going to be the column 1. And then we're going to separate that out by a comma. And here's where we're actually going to do the transformation. So we're going to say each, and we just did what? It was JSON.document. And when you use the each operator here, you can reference each row. That's what it's not very evident in this example because we only have the one row. But if we had multiple rows, this little underscore here is how you reference the transformation that's being done on each row. We only have one row in this case, so that's fine. And that should work, but we need to now change this transform to be there. So if we hit done, we should see that now, without having to add extra columns or anything like that, we are able to get what we were doing before. So you can't really see what's going on the right hand side of my screen, but let me move this over. So I've only got 2 steps: the source, where we pulled it in, and transform, which is the one we just did. Now if I just click on record here, and then we go, actually we don't really need to see the step there. If we just go into the advanced editor, we can see that these are the actions that it performed. So what I can do is I can just take those, cut them from there, and paste them onto the end of that line. And then we'll just get rid of that comma, and we'll get rid of this line altogether, and we'll see how that looks. I messed something up there. Oh, I think I pasted the wrong thing in transform. Okay, there we go. So it went from a record to a list, and now if we click on the list again, it'll drill down even further, and we can just do this same process, go back into the advanced editor. Alright, so all it's doing is accessing the addresses now. So paste that onto the end, delete the rest of this, and get transform back at the bottom. Alright, and if we drill down on the record, now we're finally getting into the meat of it. So if we go back into the advanced editor one more time, we can just copy this last part, paste it on the end, get rid of that comma, get rid of this line one more time, and it's just in transform. Done. Alright, so now we only need the zip. So I think we can do this without even getting into the advanced editor. We'll just say, and this is a record, so I can't remember. Are we doing curly brackets? Nope, not curly brackets. I guess we're doing square brackets on this one. There we go. That's exactly what we were looking for. It gave us the zip code information for that. Now, if you watched the last video, we've got the same problem that we were dealing with in that one as we are in this one, where we're dealing with a hard-coded value. It's only going to return that one address, so we need to parameterize the function. So to do that, what we're going to do is we're going to go back into the advanced editor, and we're going to make some variables. And we're going to say, just like in the last one, we're going to say address as text, city as text, and state as text. And then this is going to return text, and we'll use arrow syntax. And this is going to be the same process that we went through in the last one. Hopefully we can see what we're doing a little bit better in this one. So I'm going to go into this this string here, and we're going to do the same thing. We're just going to replace the values that are in there with our variables. So there we go. We're going to cap off that string, and we're going to say and address, and there. And then we're going to just delete the address portion of this. And just like before, we need to deal with converting these spaces to pluses. So we're going to just say text dot replace, and that's going to be the address. And we're going to say the old text is space and the new text is a plus. Good. Stop doing that. Wow, this is all messed up. Wish it would not do that. What is it doing? There. Good Lord, that was more difficult than it needed to be. Alright, let's do the rest. Move this over so maybe we can see what we're doing. And we'll go to the city. We do and city and delete out the city information. Go over to the state. And delete the state information. All right. So now we've turned this from just a query into a function. And you can see it's a function because now it's asking for the parameters. So now what we can do is we can, oh, this was my original one. So we're just going to close and load. And in order to load this up into Power Query, I'm just going to, I can either say from table or range right here, or I can use the keyboard shortcut, which is Alt-A-P-T. And my table does have headers. And now all I want to do is add a column, and we're going to invoke a custom function, the one that we just made. The new column name is going to be called zip. We'll use our function. We'll change all these to take column names instead of text. Address to address, city to city, state to state, and say OK. This might take just a minute. Seems like the internet is going slower. I don't know if that's part of the whole coronavirus thing going on, that the internet's just having problems or what, but yeah, seems to be going a lot slower than normal. Which is really fun because I don't even know if it's going to work or not. Not really. There we go. Perfect. That's what we were looking for. And just like before, we do have some errors that show up. If you look here, ran into an error. Again, my guess is it's just got some problem. It might fix it if we went in there and took out that hyphen. I did see some other ones that I was able to just get it to work by changing some of these things, like Parkway was truncated in a weird way. So it does work, it's just these are some goofy addresses. So if I close and load that, we'll say to a new worksheet, and it's going to load it up. And it'll take a while again just because everything's slow, but hey, it works. This is a new way to get zip codes if you've just got the address, city, and state. If you're interested and haven't looked at it, I do have that last video, even if it was a little bit rough, showing you how to make a user-defined function in VBA doing the exact same thing. I'm vamping a little bit, trying to get it to let it to load, but it's taken a while. But yeah, thanks for coming in and watching my video, and if you have any comments, let me know, and we'll see you next time. All right, Thanks for watching. Bye.